Well, let's get to our next caller. We do have filled, well, at this point, we do have filled lines. We won't be able to take any more calls, but we are going to get through what we have. So, am I pronouncing this correctly? Is it Martin or is it pronounced differently than that?
Well, you can call me Martin. I'm okay with that. It's the usual way I'm called in by people speaking English.
If I may, what's the correct way to say your name?
Martijn.
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 Did I say that?
Like that?
So, yeah.
Okay, Martijn. What did you want to talk about?
Yes. Well, I heard you talk before about autism. And I am diagnosed with autism. And so when people want to vent, then I find it rather difficult to respond properly. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I want to help,
right?
But it's rather difficult to. They probably just want to speak and to tell what they are going through. But I always have the feeling that I have to do something to fix things. And it's also difficult to.
Do you want to know what people have done to me? Actually, specifically, Eric Murphy and Vila Bianca, what they do that has taught me a new way of responding to people that way. That doesn't make them feel like they have to do something. Is when I call them and I'm complaining to them and I'm crying or I'm upset or whatever, and then I'm the kind of person to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I don't want you to ruin your day, I don't want to put my problems on you. And the response is always, oh, you're not putting your problems on me, I'm just here with you. And so accepting that you don't have to do anything and you don't have to expect anything from somebody who does agree to allow you to vent can remove so much stress from both sides, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good. There are ways to cope with that, with the feeling that you have to do something, and yeah.
So do you tell yourself that? Like, how is your self-talk when that happens to you? What does the conversation look like that goes on in your head?
Well, the part of it is that one of the things that are going through my head at that moment is how long is this gonna take? And it's a bit silly, but there are things that are just beforehand. You don't know how long they want to,
right?
How long they need to talk, to say something, and when things are not clear to me, that's always a bit difficult to handle.
That's something I struggle with too. Actually. Yeah. Is somebody's going and going and going and going and you're like, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a rude thing to ask, like maybe if you could approach it, and this is again pure thoughts out loud, even I wouldn't even call this advice, but I'm wondering what would happen if you just kind of say to this person that, did the person that's making you feel that way, did they ask you for your consent to emotionally dump on you?
Well,
probably not.
Early, not sometimes maybe. Sometimes it's just something that comes up.
Because that's kind of the point of what we're talking about is the fact that that's not exactly a normal thing for people to say, hey, I'm having a bad day. Do you have the emotional capacity to handle my venting to you? Or, can you handle my problems right now? Can I dump something on you because I really need to get this out? That's not a very normal thing to say or to hear. And so that's kind of one of the things that we're trying to introduce, is the idea that might help people like you and me who struggle sometimes with balancing being rude and taking care of myself.
It can really be difficult. Oh, sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, what I was thinking is, it is not just with just random other people, but it's also with my partner, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
I always, I had to learn to adjust properly, to listen, but and she knows, of course, well, at least a few years now, that I'm diagnosed, and that influences just the way we communicate, but it also influences the support I can give.
Good. That's awesome.
Other than that, how are you holding up? And I do mean that.
Yeah.
How I from day to day, you mean?
Right now, how are you right in this moment, right now?
Oh, quite anxious, because calling shows like this is not my thing. I'm not used to.
Well, hopefully you can call us more often, and that, because practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah. And
yeah, maybe I should. Yeah,
I hope
it's the previous call about that, asking how are you doing. In Dutch, we have similar ways to talk with people we just meet, or when we meet a colleague or something. And it always felt like I had to lie if things are not really okay at the moment, and I don't want to tell them what's going on.
Yeah. And to be honest, maybe you don't have to lie. You don't have to say that you're okay when you're not. You could say, what was it? I think it was IQ who said it earlier. I'm not, oh, darn it. Where was it? About, I don't want to, I could complain, but I won't. You know, realizing that not everybody has the time, not everybody has the emotional capacity to handle your stuff right now. And so I could complain, you know, being honest, I've got some stuff going on, but I realize that that's not appropriate for the situation or whatever. And so I'm just going to keep it to myself. But thank you for asking. Thank you for extending some kind of expression that you care. You know, we could change our language if we can be more mindful and talk about things like this, because if you've never thought about this kind of thing before, how are you going to come up with a response like that just on the fly?
Yeah, indeed.
So thank you so much for calling, Martin.
Martin.
I don't want to say your name wrong.
Martin.
Martin.
Thank you.
Just call me Martin. That's okay.
Martin.
Well, I've seen you, I've seen you chatting in like the comments, I think on some Facebook groups or on YouTube before. So it was nice finally getting to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And about diagnosing, when you expect, maybe if you, I already talked before, it was at the last show, that you were talking about that you expect yourself maybe on the spectrum. And it's really a good thing just to get diagnosed, just to be sure.
I agree. I do want to, continue down this path, but it has, because for most of my life, I've been told I'm weird, I'm different. And at times, some of my weird things I've gotten poked fun at for, like not liking change, or people just like have wanted to screw with me in a way because they find it funny. And it's like, you know what? There is something going on up there that clearly I'm not like, I don't know if I should say not normal. Well, I don't know. I want to be careful with how I word that. But my point is, I don't know what my point is. It's been helpful. I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely want to try to get diagnosed as well. But I'm kind of at the point where I don't exactly have the financial means And I'm about to have a kid, so I don't exactly have a whole lot of extra time coming up. But it is important to me. But I'm kind of at the point where I kind of accept that I am different. Whatever it is, I'm different. I am weird, and I have come to accept that to the extreme. But you are right. It is definitely helpful because it normalizes it. It can help people with research. It can help with statistics, as all of that. So we have another color.
So thank you. Awesome. Thanks, Martin. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you, Martin.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good evening.
You too.
For you.
We'll talk to you soon.